Do you get this message when you're trying to use DM780 with Win4Yaesu Suite? If you do, stick around. I'll show you how to fix it. All right, in the shack, this will be a quick one, just a quick tip on using Digital Master 780. So, like many hams, I use Ham Radio Deluxe mainly for my logging software. I don't really like the cat control version. I really prefer Win4Yaesu. The controls are a little more comprehensive, and I find it a little less buggy than Ham Radio Deluxe. Fortunately, you can go to settings here and enable under third-party software a Yaesu-compatible Ham Radio Deluxe server. And what that'll do is that will enable UDP traffic in the protocol that Ham Radio Deluxe uses to talk between all the various applications. So here Win4Yaesu is controlling the radio, and as you can see, it's in sync with the logbook. So as I change the frequency on the cat control, my radio changes frequency, and so does the logging software. So let's get back to the issue. Pull up a Digital Master, and I discovered this when I wanted to use the Digital Master 780 on the recent RIDI contest. And you see it comes up here fine, it connects to the radio. I'm on a, let's see, 40 meters. Let's pick a frequency here. There's somebody there. Let me move over. But if I tried to, I could receive and everything fine, but when I tried to transmit, I'd get this error message: transmit failed. Win4Yaesu configuration does not have a transmit button displayed. Press OK to configure the radio pane layout. And what they're talking about is over here in the radio pane, well, you see Win4Yaesu, it's connected. It's on the frequency that the radio is set to. But there is no transmit button, so it can't enable the transmitter, apparently, on the radio. So click OK to configure radio pane. So let's do that. And it says, okay, let's add a button. But when I try to add a button, well, that's a drop down. It only shows mode. Add a button. No button. It has 0 is the option. All of them say 0. Nothing in there. Select PTT program options from the tools menu. So let's take a look at that. No. If we go over to programs and look at PTT, I can do COM-port, but I really want to use Ham Radio Deluxe right here. Configure HRD connection just brings me back to the same page. No TX. So what's the manual say about that? How about that? Let's look at the manual. And if I go to the Win4Yaesu manual down here, it'll say connecting Ham Radio Deluxe log to Ham Radio Deluxe logbook and the DM780. And it says, it talks about the TCP server that we configured. And it does connect. However, it says when you're connected, it should look like this. Well, it doesn't look like that. But even in this example, it doesn't have a transmit button or a TX button. It just has these drop downs for mode, antenna, receiver, submode, CW keying, and voice. And furthermore, there's a message here that says, or a statement here that says, there may be buttons displayed, but Win4Yaesu, there may be other buttons displayed, but Win4Yaesu Suite only supports these default buttons and drop downs at this time. If you have other drop downs defined, you must remove them from the radio pane. Well, looks like a bunch have been removed, and this is a fresh install. I installed it, so I don't think I corrupted it, but anyway, how are we going to fix this? So let's take a look at that. I'm going to shut this down and close this out. So let's look for that configuration file. Open up our directories here. On your local C drive, you'll find your user directory and then your appropriate username directory. And you're going to want to look for the hidden directory app data. If you don't have your settings set to view hidden files, you need to enable that. So in app data, down in the roaming directory, here you see it, HRD LLC, and that should be where all the configuration files are. And here we are, Digital Master 780. So let's peek in there. Got a lot of configuration files, but here you go. DM radio layout and Win4Yaesu. So that's Win4Yaesu is the radio name that we're going to look at. I'm going to open in or edit in Notepad. And here you go. And here are the buttons right here. And you can see it has the drop down, but no TX button. So we're going to fix that right now. I'm just going to Control C and a little Control V to paste. Make it look pretty. And we're going to make an assignment of TX. And we don't want a drop down, we want a button. So we'll rename this to button. And give it an ID of 1. And let's save that. Save it out to the drive. Get rid of that. And now let's see what happens when we call up the Digital Master. Pull it up. And hopefully, if everything works, it's going to read that configuration file and display, wait for it, the TX button is here. Let's see if it works. Find a frequency. Yeah, looks good. Let's give it a test here. Oh, there it goes. I just heard my transmitter click on, and there you go, modulating, sending the old CQ out there. And it works. So there you have it. That's the way you get your transmit button back on there. Even though the Win4Yaesu documentation said don't add any buttons that don't appear in their instructions, the TX button I can assure you works, at least on my radio. It's a DX101, but it should work for any of the modern Yaesus, the FD-DX10, the 710. Most of those probably have a compatible cat control. So now I get to play with 780, see what this program's all about. I used to use FL Digi, but we're going to play with the 780 now. I want to play with some of the super sweeper stuff and everything, but there you have it. I just wanted to give a little quick fix-it program because I use YouTube a lot to look up problems, solutions to problems I have. I couldn't find one for this. So had to dig around, figure it out myself, and share with all of you. Well, that's it. 73, everybody.